for a wild ride. We're gonna dive into some Karens. Awful encounter on a flight. Well, that was among the most awful encounters of my life. I am going to board my plane and a woman is blocking the entrance, but her zone hasn't been called yet. I accidentally bump into her with my bag and say, sorry. On the plane, she comes up the aisle and says, oh, I get to sit by the woman who hit me. She is American and in her 60s and has pink hair. She is super aggressive. I didn't hit you. I'm sorry I bumped into you. Yeah, you hit me. I'm sorry. I said sorry. Sure you did. Please don't start our flight this way. Fine. I accept your apology. She's rolling her eyes and mocking me. I should have shut up there, but I told her, the apology is rescinded because you are being very rude. Oh, shut up. You're a giant. Who needs you? I said, I will be asking to change seats because this is bat crap behavior. Don't you effing call me bat crap. Right after she just insulted me. So I hit the help button and in Japanese asked for help and to be moved because the woman is aggressive. I am starting to cry. The flight attendant gestures to the empty row behind us and I move. She is not happy that I have my own row. She calls the attendant over and loudly says, she shouldn't gaslight you like that. She hit me in the airport, making it sound like I punched her. I have to speak up so they don't assume I assaulted this woman. I did not hit you. I bumped into you with my bag. She says, you shut up. I'm talking to someone else. In Japanese, again, I ask for help and then in English to the attendant say, I am sorry. I have tried moving and she won't stop. I have never had an interaction like this on a flight. I am not the type. Oh, honey, you are the type. Please, can I move anywhere else? I would rather sit in the toilet. That's where you belong. And I said, please go back to America. How do you know I'm American? I can tell. I'm an American too, but I live abroad. Eat crap and die. The attendant moves me 3 rows back and to the opposite side of the plane. She apologizes to me profusely. She too can clock a Karen, but the lady is mad I got my own row again. She demands to sit in the row in front of her, the extra legroom row. The flight attendant tells her she may move if she pays for an upgrade. Well, she got to move. The flight attendant did not cave. I knew she would act up again. Sure enough, she held up the drink cart for 10 minutes asking for a long list of beverages not on the menu. This woman goes through life trying to hurt others. What sucks is it worked. I felt bad. You're a giant. Who needs you? Was so targeted. I am 183 centimeters tall and I was wearing chunky Converse. I don't think I will wear them for a while. No, don't let her stop you from wearing them. If you like to wear your chunky Converse, wear the chunky Converse. I hate that I took the bait. I hate that she got under my skin and I'm still upset hours later. But mostly, I hate that people like her exist and other people have to deal with them constantly. I am so sorry that you went through that. That is terrible and terrible behavior. Unfortunately, there are people like that in the world and unfortunately, nice people are the ones that seem to cop it. I am so sorry this American jerk insulted and continued to insult you. I hate my own people. People like her are all over here now that Big T rules America again. It's terrible. They came out of the woodwork when he was first elected because he had such bad behavior they all learned that they could do it too. And it hasn't stopped. I'm so sorry. I wish I was not an American. Most of us are not like that. OP responded, hey, thanks for the support. And I know I'm American too, but goddamn, some people seem determined to grind our reputation even deeper into the dirt. It hurts to be ashamed of your own country. There are many amazing people and places in the USA. Unfortunately, the negative interactions leave deeper imprints on our lizard brains. Yeah, look, America does seem to at the moment have a really bad reputation and unfortunately the Karens do seem to be coming out in droves at the moment. And yeah, you're right, the negative actions do seem to be coming out more than the positives. And it's easy for us, I'm Australian, so it's easy for us to go up. That's another idiot American again. And I know that it's only a handful of you that actually do behave like that. And I'm not going to get political on here at all, because that's not what I'm about. And I don't want to be known as that. But yeah, unfortunately, with what's going on in the world now, it has left a pretty sour taste in the rest of the world's mouths about Americans. And I'm so sorry that you have to put up with that and you have to actually leave your own country because you're so embarrassed. I love America. I've been to America quite a few times, and I actually really enjoyed my time over there. But right now, it is not a place that I am in a rush to go back to, which is really sad because I really did love my time over there when I visited. But unfortunately, I will be waiting, and I'll be waiting like another, 4 years until I think about heading back over there again, which is really sad because it was always top of my travel wish lists. Wild Karen and Ken encounter. Okay, so this isn't the most dramatic post, but it was so satisfying. I had just finished a rough shift at work and was on a 2-hour commute home. I'd gotten off my bus, walked to the train station, and picked up dinner along the way. As I was entering the station ticket office, a man, Ken, and woman, Karen, left shouting at the station staff angrily and kicking off. I didn't get involved as I was tired, stressed, and couldn't be asked with drunk people. The issue was that they had been refused entry to a platform due to the woman being drunk. They didn't seem overly drunk at first glance to me, but there are 4 train stations in the city centre, and if they were sober, they might have remembered this and just gone to a different one. However, there's always a however. As I was being served, they decided to return to continue screaming at the staff. I heard the phrase, "You have 1 iota of power and you're determined to," shouted at the woman serving me by Ken. Saw her face fall into a resigned lines of someone bracing themselves for abuse, and decided I was not in the mood. Without even turning, I shouted loudly and in my best no-nonsense tone, "Oh, you will F off." There was a few seconds of stunned silence whilst he rallied, and then in outraged tones said, "What did you just say?" Which quite frankly enraged me further, probably due to the abuse I'd endured at work. And so therefore the tone that he expected to cow me didn't work as the deterrent he expected. Without even turning, I shouted, "You heard me, F off. I've no time for Karens nor Kens." The silence that followed and the look on the cashier's face was beautiful, but the fact that they promptly left without another word, chef's kiss. The cashier asked if I could come work there before I left. Spleen appropriately vented at deserving souls. I'm feeling oh so very satisfied. Oh my God, you're my hero. You said exactly what the cashier could never say without being fired. Good on you. And then they all clapped. OP. No, they didn't. And I was too grumpy to accept a round of applause. Lol. If you see Karens and Kens out in the world abusing staff, remember that the staff cannot retaliate. They might want to, but they cannot because of fear of losing their jobs. And yeah, sometimes you don't want to step in, but sometimes if you can and you wish to, just step in. But I wouldn't recommend getting involved all the time. Pick your moments, but that was gold. That was a really good way of stepping in, and I'm so glad that you did that. And I'm so glad that the cashier appreciated that, because she literally couldn't do that herself. She wanted a bagel. What she got was banned. All right, So this took place in 2016 in Southern Florida. I, 27 female, had just turned 18 back then. I was barely surviving my first 2 jobs and eating more bread bowls than any human should. One of those jobs was good old Panera Bread, land of limp lettuce and Karen stampedes. I was going through hell at the time, burned out, broke, and clinging to minimum wage like it was life support. I hear we've all been there, I'm sure. I definitely have. I definitely have. I worked at McDonald's for like 23 years of my life, and the amount of Karens and Kens that I encountered in my time working there, I lost track. It was pretty much a daily occurrence. It got to the point where I would go home and I'd be like, I didn't get yelled at, spat at, things thrown at me at all today. Today was a great day. And I had very rare moments. It happened maybe 6 times, and I wish I was exaggerating, but it was a very rare occurrence. It was like it hardly ever happened that none of those things happened. Every day it was a battle. Every day you dread going to work because you knew that someone was going to either abuse you, was either going to throw something at you, try and spit at you. I've had drinks thrown through drive-through windows. I've had doors broken off hinges because people have gotten so mad. I've had windows smashed because people have thrown chairs at windows and smashed them. I've had people punch the windows and smash them. I've almost been run over a few times taking orders out to cars that are parked. Stories I could tell you about my time working at McDonald's. So, you go through so much hell, you don't get paid great for that. They burn you out because they work you so hard. But my gosh, I have encountered so many Karens and Kens in my time. Somehow, they promoted me to assistant manager after 6 months. Still not sure if that was a compliment or just punishment with extra steps. Yes, that. Anyway, if you've ever been to a Panera, you already know it's a mecca for middle-aged suburbanites who think that my Panera card entitles them to diplomatic immunity and a seat at the Last Supper. I love your writing. I love how you're putting things. The amount of I know the owner energy in that place could power a small country. Oh my gosh, the amount of times someone would say to me, I know the owner. And my comeback for that, and every single time somebody said to me, I know the owner, I literally would not even miss a beat and I'd go, what a coincidence. Me too. So one day around 3 p.m, my general manager leaves to grab supplies from another store and puts me in charge. Just me and one cashier who's currently on break because, of course, the other one called out sick. So I'm flying solo at the register when she walks in. Let's call her Brittany, B, because Karen is tired and Brittany has earned this spotlight. We all know a B named Brittany. Mid-40s, sunglasses indoors, hair that's been asking for the manager since 2007, much as in like she owns not just this Panera, but the entire city. How do you know she doesn't? She probably does. She stomps up to the counter, already scowling like I personally keyed her Lexus. Me, hi there, what can I get started for you today? B, cinnamon crunch bagel, honey walnut cream cheese. That actually sounds delicious. I check the rack. Nada. Zip. Not a single cinnamon crunch crumb remains. Me. I'm really sorry, ma'am. We're all out of cinnamon crunch bagels for the day, but we've got plenty of B. No, I came for that bagel. Me. I get it, and I apologize for the inconvenience, but we've sold out for today. I'd be happy to get you something else. B. Why can't you just make more? Does she think bagels just manifest out of thin air when you clap twice or something. Me, company policy says after 1 p.m. the ovens are reserved for baguettes only. We need them running constantly for the dinner rush. I wish I could help more. B, sounds like laziness to me. Are they even on? I bet they're not. Go check. Now, I already know those ovens at that moment were deader than my will to live. But hey, if she wants a song and dance, I'll give her a Broadway number. I'll stroll back, peek dramatically into the kitchen. Yep, every oven off. Quiet. Cold as corporate empathy. Do I tell her that? Hell no! I walk back with the confidence of a barista who knows their tip jar is full. Me. Yep, all our ovens are in use right now. Can't make any more bagels. Brittany doesn't like that. She slams her hand on the counter and leans in like she's about to interrogate me under a dangling light bulb. B. I want to speak to your manager. Now remember, my name tag says assistant manager in big, bold letters. I pause. I slowly look down at my name tag, then back at her. But she doesn't read it, or she just doesn't care. Then she snaps her fingers at me, like I'm a golden retriever. B. Well, go get your manager. Ah, there it is. The eternal customer question. You want a manager? Say less. I smile. That kind of smile, you know, the one. Buckle up, Becky. Me. Of course. Be right back. I walk calmly into the manager's office, close the door, and sit on my phone for 5 minutes, just vibing, watching her pace around on the security cam like a simmering teapot with a god complex. Once I feel sufficiently entertained, I step back out, paste on my brightest fake smile, and say, "Hi there, I'm the manager. How can I help you?" Yo. Yo. She practically short-circuited. She starts screaming, grabs cups from the drink station and yeets them across the counter, bangs her fists, full banshee mode. I genuinely thought she was about to flip a table and speak in tongues. Customers were staring. My cashier came back from break mid-exorcism. It was incredible. We ended up calling security. She was escorted out, still screeching about calling corporate and getting me fired. Spoiler alert. I did not get fired. She got banned. All that fury over a $2.69 bagel? And that, friends, is how I learned that some people don't want solutions. They want scorched earth and cinnamon crumbs. God bless food service. Never again. Thankfully, I got the heck out of Florida for good though. I am back home in Alaska. OP, your storytelling is phenomenal. Thank you so much. I actually felt like I was there with you. Comments, it's just a lot of awesome job, hell of a story. All right, I think we have time for one more. Karen recorded me at work. I'm a server at a popular pizza chain. Yesterday, being a Saturday night, we had a really busy dinner rush, a little understaffed. Once it slowed down, a lady came in carrying a pizza box. She tells me her delivery driver set her food down on her wet porch and didn't notify her the food had arrived. I told her it was DoorDash and that our delivery driver is currently out due to having surgery. She says she wants a full refund, so I start the process. While I'm trying to give her the refund, she just starts basically crap talking about how she also tried to call several times but no one answered. I'm trying to stay professional and completely ignoring the rude tones she's having while still trying to help. I tell her we have a call center and that we also just had dinner rush, so if no one was able to get to the phone, that was why. It wasn't letting me give her the refund, so I go to the back and ask my co-workers about it. They said it was because since it was DoorDash, that's why it wasn't letting me give her a refund and she would have to call DoorDash about it. I go back to the front and tell her and she goes, "No, I called DoorDash and they said talk to you." It's the same with Uber. I used to work for a burger place that did Uber, and we used to always get customers calling us complaining. And of course, you know, it being an Uber delivery, there was not much we could do about it. So we'd always say, you're going to have, unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about it. You're going to have to call Uber and they will process a refund for you. You know, and obviously you just apologize for the inconvenience and whatever and move on and just give them the Uber number. Literally just stop processing your payment, so it just goes straight back on, and it's an easy thing. But you know, I imagine it's exactly the same for DoorDash. I'm going back and forth trying to figure things out, and she starts calling the store, so the phone starts ringing. She then starts calling me a liar over and over again. I reminded her again that we just had dinner rush, so no one was able to get to the phone while she was calling about her issue. She then pulls out her phone and starts to record me and all of my co-workers that were back in the kitchen. I call my manager to ask what I should do, and she says to just get her number so my manager could call her tomorrow. I go back out to the front to do so, and the Karen left. So she pretty much came just to yell and record us since she left before I could help her. After she left, she started spam calling the store, but of course, at that point, no one wanted to answer her call after the stuff she just pulled. Fair. Absolutely fair. May have done some stalking and found out she's a mental health advocate and an affirmative therapist, so that's pretty ironic considering she just went and harassed some 20-year-old food service workers making $5.50 an hour. Not only that, after she left, a DoorDasher that was behind her was like, sorry about that, Karen. What was she mad about? And I explained it to him, and even he was like, yeah, that's on DoorDash, not you guys. Did you take note of where she's a therapist, what business she works for as a therapist? Because I would have literally called them and put in a complaint about her and told them about her behavior, because that's really unacceptable, and I'm petty. And I'm very petty. So that's what I would do. We have an update, guys. This morning, my manager reviewed the cameras and her and the Karen exchanged a couple of emails. My manager said, hello, my name is, and I am the RGM at. I am sorry to hear about your experience with our store this past Saturday. We use DoorDash for delivery at our store, and I am sorry they left your food outside. Unfortunately, when we do DoorDash an order, we have to wait until the next day to issue refunds. This is why my server could not find a way to do it while you were here on Saturday. Saturdays are very busy to us, and we are short-staffed at the moment. That is why we have the call center in place. This is so my staff can focus on customers that are in the store. If you know of anyone who would like to apply, the applications can be found at theplaceIworkat.com. I would also like to advise you that taking videos of my staff is prohibited and will not be tolerated. I have issued you your refund of $47.25. It may take 5 to 7 days to go back on your card. If you have any questions or concerns, you can reach me at this email. What I have to say is I love the passive aggressiveness in the email and how she literally gave her a link if she wants to find someone to apply, since she has such an issue with us being short-staffed, and for defending me. So she should. Karen's reply, which was sent just 15 minutes later. Thank you for your response. I am not happy with the interaction and would typically not take pictures, videos of someone in their workplace, but I found I needed proof of the interaction given the series of false statements that employee made. I do understand the busy nature of a pizza shop on a Saturday evening, but at the time I was there, I was the only customer in the store. The phone rang and the employee made no effort to answer. If it truly was set up to forward to a call center, please do check because it just disconnects after several rings. I tried multiple times before driving to the store and also while I was standing inside. I hope you will offer additional training to this employee and that you are able to find staff. Now, a few things are confusing me about this response. Maybe this lady can't just accept she's in the wrong in the situation, or what? She said, I felt I needed proof of the interaction given the series of false statements that employee made. This literally makes no sense to me because my own manager in this very email you are responding to told you the exact same thing I told you while you were yelling at me. I told you we had a call center. I told you we were understaffed. I told you I couldn't refund the order because it was DoorDash. And I told you we just had dinner rush before you came in. And you can clearly see that I was the only person working up front. So what false statements was I making? She also said she was the only customer in the store and the phone rang when she was calling the store in front of me, by the way, and I made zero effort to answer. Maybe because I was prioritizing the situation you were putting me in and I was trying to help you and give you a refund while you were asking my co-workers what to do because you started yelling. Why would I go answer the phone when it's you calling and you're standing right in front of me just because you want to see if I'll answer? Again, I had also literally told her we just had dinner rush before she came, which is why no one was able to get to the phone while she was calling about her issue. As for saying she hopes I get additional training, that just made me laugh because I did everything right in this situation. I've been working here for over a year, Karen. No additional training needed. I think I know what I'm doing by this point. Part of me believes she really just wanted a reaction out of me, and that's why she kept getting more and more angry the less I was reacting to her behavior. And while I still barely gave her a reaction to her recording, she left. This is the thing with most people, very bad and not very acceptable. I would take this as she was highly aggravated and was in need of a refund as the service did not meet her expectations. I would have just told the manager to handle the situation from the get-go, as generally people calm down when speaking to more elderly people. Do give us updates on the situation. OP, yeah, she definitely would have, but she wasn't there. We had no manager on duty. I even asked her if she would maybe come in to help deal with this, but she said she couldn't. I'll get updates later today when my manager calls. And then just a few people just have an issue with her making $5.50 an hour. Not happy with that minimum wage. I mean, I get it. That's pretty terrible. But anyway, okay, that's all we have time for. I hope you enjoyed these Karen's in the Wild stories. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed the video, please do like and subscribe. I really would appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one.